live stream. I kind of was sleeping on this last night. My apologies to Doomcock, Cameron, and Mike. Was not able to stay awake. Had stuff to do this morning and actually had a good night's sleep, which is, kind of a difficult thing these days. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about when did this Kennedy stuff begin? And this is not going to be about when she took over or anything else. When was her power being pulled away? Here's the deal. Hey Dave, how you doing? 2018, it was announced that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were going to develop and produce The Mandalorian, which is pretty obviously something that was a spin-off from one of the Boba Fett scripts, which is par for the course. That's, they weren't gonna do, and you could tell, hey, thanks Planet Musk, you could tell the moment that Soylo lost $250 million. Oh, it's going good, Dave. That they weren't going to do any more movies like that, and they announced no more anthologies. Okay, fine. That's great. So they took the Boba Fett script, and I think what they did was divided it. Took the bounty hunting stuff, turned it into The Mandalorian, and took the A Man Called Horse version, part of it, and turned it into the Book of Boba Fett. This is where Kennedy started losing her power. Iger basically said, we're going to step back from making feature films for Star Wars. Jon Favreau is going to develop the show. And then Mandalorian was a success. Season 2 was even a bigger success because of Luke showing up. And basically, as Iger started giving up power, Chapek started giving more and more power to Jon Favreau. Around 2020, when Kennedy, I think it was when Kennedy basically had, had the Kenobi scripts and said, well, we've got these scripts and we can't wait. They were too much like Mandalorian. They had to be rewritten. Basically, Jon Favreau was given that task. And Kennedy had this Academy Award-winning showrunner to make it. He got fired. Favreau said, bye-bye, see you, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Favreau put Deborah Chow in charge. Jon Favreau thence became the daddy of the Kenobi series. Praise be Jesus Christ on that. Okay. With obviously Dave Filoni now number 3 at Lucasfilm being ahead of everything that they're putting out as far as the creative end. Kennedy then went after Gina Carano, who was making kind of a scene of herself on Twitter. Basically putting your opinions out there. I don't have a problem with that. Hey, John, don't have a problem with that at all. What I have a problem with is the double standard at Lucasfilm and her inability to see she was not in the position to do any of this. Okay. Which has led me to believe she didn't want to be part of Star Wars anyway. And I think that bears out. I think that really does bear out on that. Luke shows up. Pablo Hidalgo makes a fool of himself. Kennedy sees that what Favreau's doing is resonating. No, she did not know Luke was going to show up. This is why Hidalgo said what he said. He didn't know. Kennedy didn't know. They didn't know. And they were not allowed to know. And the reason why is because if they knew, everybody else would have known. I have a feeling, part of me thinks that someone with a little bit of Machiavellian conniving dropped Harrison Ford into the IMDb page of Boba Fett to see what would happen. Okay? And then pulled it out. I have a feeling that it was either they pulled it out either because the show just wasn't up to speed to introduce a character like that, or it was done deliberately to see what would happen. What would happen was this, but let's go back to Kennedy. Gina's issues get put out there in public by Kennedy's people. It did not go to Disney, so everyone's screaming about Disney. Shut the hell up. They had nothing to do with this. That was Kathleen Kennedy's call. It did not get to Iger or Chapek. They would have said, leave her alone. All right? All right? And I do believe very strongly that, but Favreau was pissed. Okay? Then we have the Forbes article written by a man from, I think he teaches writing at USC, who dumped it out there, told Twitter to screw off. I'm not going to dive more deep into it. And then he deleted his Twitter account. Okay? You don't think that was deliberate? You don't. There are people out there that don't understand how you run an operation like this. He put it out there and then he left. All right? He did that for a reason. Let's go further. We have a Variety article attacking Chapek. Everything's changing and we don't know what's going to happen and he's mean. Chapek did that. He's basically making himself look bad for a reason. Okay? Then we have at least another Hollywood Reporter article basically on the same vein. Then the coup de grace. The Atlantic article. The Atlantic Monthly is the faux intellectual magazine of choice by the faux intellectuals and elites. Okay? It tells them what they're supposed to be talking about now. All right? It said, basically in a nutshell, Jon Favreau is now taking over Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy did a shitty job. Okay. That was in June. That was almost a year. That was a year ago, June, it'll be. And, well, yeah, she did all that. But let's talk about that. So that all happened. And then we have Harrison Ford getting hurt. We have, look, Phoebe Waller-Bridge showing up on the cast of Indy. We have Doomcock with his rumors saying this is horrible. We all know what the rumors were. We have Harrison Ford getting hurt. Now, maybe he was actually really hurt. But like I said, I told you the story about being thrown from that mare. All right? Elbow knocked out of its socket. Pushed back in, hurt like hell, but I did it anyway. Not realizing my shoulder was hurt as bad as it was, till the next morning when I could barely raise it above my head. Off to the doctor. Not anything else wrong, just soft tissue damage, but stay off of horses for the rest of the summer. My life was a living hell then, okay? I was pissed. I couldn't even go up there to take care of them because my dad was like, I'm not letting you do that. You will get on their backs and you will ride again. All right. So we get that. And then the rumors. And then into the summertime, Kennedy disappears. Then she shows up on the PGA website talking about the virtues of children of blood and bone, etc. Okay, then I gotta get off here pretty soon. And then, coup de grace, the rumors Doomcock had showed up on the Daily Mail, which is a newspaper my husband reads in the morning now because they actually do a better job reporting things than our newspapers do. Then, Children of Blood and Bone is announced being kicked to the curb by Paramount. The Acolyte, nothing's going on that. It's supposed to start filming in May. There is no director chosen. There is no other cast chosen. It is sitting there, pre-production like this. All right. Kennedy is, for all intents and purposes, a figurehead. She has no power. And this is all this started in 2018. And that's my dog going into the house. Go on, go to your house. Go on, Koji. All right. He does without playing. Anyway, but I gotta go. I just wanted to say, it's not hard to connect the dots, and they're out there. Okay, so when you've got people like Scribner saying the exact opposite, that's exactly what she is. She's the Windows CEO. She's not doing anything. When you've got people saying the exact opposite, like Scribner and the Story Group, you know, it's up to you. Are you going to listen to people peddling in those rumors? Are you going to listen to people that have this is legit press? We know the Acolyte hasn't been touched, and that has not been moved. That page in IMDb has not been touched since I think the 10th of December. Okay, they're supposed to start filming in May. Now maybe we'll be surprised, but I don't think so. You've got the Story Group running around dancing a whirling dervish over the High Republic that no one's buying, you know, basically making fools of themselves. Here's my problem. Hey, Wenger, how are you doing? Here's my problem with all of it. It's fake. The stuff that they're doing for the High Republic is fake. And they're desperate to try to get the money people's attention. All right, and I don't think it'll work. I mean, again, you look at the book sales for that, it is not in the top 100 on Amazon. Being number 4 in the in the young adult novels area on Amazon isn't that great. Okay, there's no clamoring outcry from the general fan base for this. Oh, great, Wenger. There's no general outcry for the fan base for this. Okay, none. And yet here we are. They are fomenting a fake. It's sad, but they're trying to protect what they created, and I think why is because they saw the Children of Blood and Bone get, and they know the Acolyte's about ready to go. All right, Headland hasn't said a word about it. It's not been in the press. You know, every once in a while she'll have an emotional fit, and you'll see something, and then it'll go away for a while. I mean, you know, I don't see it going ahead anytime soon. They just don't have the money to do it. There's no will on the part of Disney to do it. And I really don't see Dave Filoni wanting to spend a second on it. You know, he's got to get ready for the Ahsoka thing. And there are other things they've got to think about, okay? This is literally the last gasp, all right? And this all ties into the loss of power by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, she's a figurehead. She doesn't have anything to say about Star Wars at all. She doesn't have anything to really, I mean, from what I can tell, she's an executive producer, which means she has to have her name out there. She's getting paid, and that's it. That's it. Now, Frank said he's in England. That doesn't mean she is. All right. I've yet to hear anybody say, yeah, we saw her at Pinewood. I have yet to anybody to say that. Excuse me. To say that. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. What does make sense is him going and her not. And I don't think Disney would really want her there. Look, it's not her money she's playing with. It was their money. Okay? And that's the thing we got to remember. The hedge fund guys are the ones that pay for these movies. And they're not happy. Okay? Ain't no one's happy with her right now. And I do believe that. I do believe that the board of directors wants her gone. Not only because she's done a poor job with the feature films, but because of what she's done with indie. When it comes out, we're going to find out she spent twice as much, or maybe 3 times as much to get this movie, Indy 5, done because of the reshoots. All right? That's not good. She's supposed to be an excellent producer, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I'm really like looking at all this going, it's either all for clickbait, all to save face, all to save a project that was doomed at the beginning. No one's going to want to read a book about a celibate gay pilot. I mean, who cares? Why is this even a thing in Star Wars? I mean, but then you think the author, and it's like, well, that's what she's worried about. I mean, that's her whole. That's Claudia Gray's whole world. Is focusing on that and not what she should be focusing on. You know, they literally did put that whiteboard up on in those books, and they didn't sell. Their whiteboard was being mocked. It still is. It's being used against them right now. Yet here we are. They don't get it. They don't understand it. Well, it's not just minority groups. It's their groups. Look, true diversity reflects on merit. Okay, if you've got several people there, and the black woman is the best at the job, she's going to get the job. Okay, period, full stop. Okay, not because she's black, but because she's good at the job. Okay, all right. And when you're talking about work and everything else, does it matter if someone's gay or not? No. And if you're hey, Jay, how you doing? My man, it doesn't matter. What matters simply is this: how good they are at their job. That's it. Period. Full stop. And this is Star Wars, and it should not even be something that is talked about. Like last night, Cameron said, when they were talking about the Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power, and the only thing they can use is the appendices of the Silmarillion, because the Tolkien family was like, no. I mean, J.R.R. was like, no. And him, you know, basically saying he got an email from a very lefty friend who's a huge screenwriter who said, this is like 2018. This isn't, what are they doing? This is horrible. See, these books reflect a passing phase. These books are about a passing phase. The Kennedy is Queen is a passing phase. Okay. You know, as I think, I don't think it was, somebody said, in Cameron's Patreon, that as Kennedy leaves, John and Dave will be a little more vocal about where they're taking things. Okay. They're not going to do it. They're not going to embarrass her while she's there. You know, if she's even there anymore. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? You know, and that's it. I mean, she is, and you can tell. I mean, you know, I dare somebody to find me a place where anything that I mean, the only movie Lucasfilm has got going right now, feature film, is Indy 5. And that shoot has been a disaster. Not only because Ford got hurt, I believe he slow-rolled it. All right, I do. I believe he slow-rolled it. I mean, I don't know where they got, somebody had a rumor that he had an operation, and it's like, I went and investigated. It's like, I don't see it. If that's true, it would be out there. Somebody would find it. So anyway, okay, Carlos, that's cool. So anyway, I kind of wanted to put this out there, this timeline, just to kind of get people into, I always do a timeline. It refreshes people's memories. It gets people up to speed on where the current situation is. This has been an evolving situation since 2018. All right. Iger is known for a long time Kennedy couldn't hack being president of Lucasfilm. And he went out of his way to protect her. He took all the blame himself. But he took all the movies and said no more. That's a big deal. Okay. That killed a lot of her plans. All right. He then got Favreau. Oh, I think it is. I mean, if you've got woke, if you've got liberal writers saying this is so stupid about the Lord of the Rings Ring of Power thing, then it probably is. I mean, it probably really is on its way out the door, if not out the door. Again, we're gonna still see some garbage coming through the line, but you know, it's going to take these people who are true believers. It's going to take them a while to catch up to the trend. Okay, and the trend is nobody cares anymore. Let it go. And really, if you know any Zoomers, they're like, they please stop it. Just, we don't care. All right. And I'll tell you something else. And this is something to watch. If you watched the Super Bowl, and of course I didn't, but I did look at some of the ads. They were all aimed at Generation X. All right. People born between 1966 and 85. Okay. And when you think about who runs the world, it's us, for better or for worse. We have Elon Musk. We also have, some really rotten human beings in our generation. But we also have the money. And we don't spend money on things that aren't good. Okay? Millennials don't have money. I mean, a lot of them don't even own their own houses. All right? They don't own their own houses. All right? They rent. Zoomers, well, I don't think they'll ever have any money. Okay? Yeah, I was born in 68, so, we are the ones who revered the greatest generation. We're the ones that grew up with Ronald Reagan. We are the ones that grew up with punk rock and heavy metal. And it was, and they're aiming stuff at us. That tells me something. That tells me that marketing and companies are now realizing they have been focusing on the wrong groups, which is people who don't have any money, who aren't buying anything. Okay, and they're pissing people off who do. Okay, that's another thing that's going to start happening. That's why you're going to see within the franchise, the OT start to get more. That's why like I said the other day, they're going to have likely a Luke Skywalker Jedi Academy here in the future. Okay, and I don't see a Rey or a Kyle Ron in that. You could easily just bypass the sequel trilogy. Let it sit there for the people who like it. Star Wars the timeline will not feature it anymore. And the reason why is because we don't buy anything. And we have buying power. All right? We are the ones that, for better or for worse, run the world now. Okay? We're the ones that alternately aren't politically correct and the ones who are. We're the whatever generation. Whatever. I do think they are. Hey, here's a question if anybody wants to leave in a comment, because I gotta go. Have they put any more books, like republished, repurposed, new covered EU books? Leave that up in the chat. I gotta go. We're getting ready. We gotta go shooting. Gonna do some 9mm work, I think, and got some other stuff we gotta do. Okay. All right. Thanks, Carlos. But if you find out, leave it in the chat. And, this is a safe haven for people who are sick of the bullshit. Okay. You want to come and actually talk about what's going on, the news. I'm not going to hold back. If something happens, you know me, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay. I'm going to get really pissed. Because you know that. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. Jay, it was good to see you. Vanguard, Dave, Carlos, Sci-Fi Universe, and everybody else. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I will talk to y'all later. And keep your eye on the market. Keep your eye on the news. I suggest getting a free subscription to the Deadline. Hey, Bill. Deadline and Variety, because I send out their articles on email. And, keep your eyes open, all right? Because there's something momentous about to happen. I just feel it. Yeah, it's like this. And I'll give you one more thing. If you're hanging out and you see something going on and there's somebody that you just don't feel comfortable around, it's your gut, all right? And if your gut says don't trust them, don't, okay? I value loyalty above everything. I do not pretend to want to make everybody happy. None of us should. Speak your mind. Remember, the only person that you really gotta make happy is the person you see in the mirror every day and him. That's it. Okay? All right? And your biggest competition is the person you see in the mirror every day, not anybody else. All right? And that's the bottom line. All right? And if you're trying to make everybody happy, you're trying to be all things, all people, you're going to fail miserably, eventually. All right? I've seen too many politicians do it, and they get primaried, like Liz Cheney, but that's another story. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later. See you around the galaxy.